Surrender is my favorite thing now because I was so bad at it before. And it was something like control. Control was always my biggest problem. I'm a woman who has a very feminine core, but has operated in the masculine for a very long time.
Mm.
And so I have a lot of endocrine issues and a lot of like period issues and stuff like that because my energies are trying, like I'm trying to get pulled back into the feminine. So surrender is the aspect of the feminine. It is being able to allow things to come into our life instead of having to push and make them happen. Being someone who's been such a practicer of making things happen. I would, like I've always been someone who's like, oh, what is that? Okay, I'm going to go out and get it, and do whatever possible to make that happen. But I found that spirit, source, universe, God, whatever you want to call it, kept drawing me into these situations that would force me to stop. And whether my health would get have an issue or I break something, or there was a lot of like just movement towards slowing down. And so I've talked about this a lot on my podcast, but I was living in New York at the height of my career, and I had just broken up with my ex-husband, and I decided I was going to go out and do all this dating, whatever. And like, it really just put this masculine energy on because New York is very much energetically masculine. So I was doing all this stuff, but I was getting really sick and I was getting depressed and I was getting really tired and I was having like more than health issues, financial issues, love issues, self-worth issues, and couldn't get to a place where I felt grounded. And so I tried to move to Paris. It was an 8-month process with a visa and the whole thing. And the situation ended up being where this timeline was really off, where the place where I lived was like, you need to sign this lease, and I was still waiting on a visa. And I was like, I'm going to get it in a few days. Please wait. And they're like, no, you need to tell us now or then. I called the place and they were like, you'll get it. Don't worry. You have all the stuff or whatever. So I let go of my apartment and I sold all my stuff. I get my visa and I didn't get it. So,
Mm.
like, I was like, "Oh shit, I'm homeless. Like, I have nowhere to go. I can't move there. I was supposed to plan whatever." So, it completely changed the course of my life and had to move back to Kansas City. And I remember thinking I was so mad, just like I had all these plans and I had all this stuff and like, what the fuck is going on? Now, this isn't the first time it's happened in my life. And I won't tell you that other story, but it's just essentially like I keep experiencing these giant rug pulls. So
Mm.
last year, I'm spending a year in Kansas City trying to surrender, trying to be in the feminine. Okay, what does it look like to rest? Ugh, like just the idea of rest was so foreign to me because I worked all the time. It was crazy. And getting to this place where then I decided I was going to go on this remote year. And I left. I went to Bali in January and February, went to France, and then COVID hit. So I had to come back and cancel all of my plans for this year. I was supposed to go be in Portugal and then in Spain and Croatia and Cape Town, all this stuff. So I was having PTSD because I was like, this is the same thing. I am getting the rug pulled from underneath me again. Now, obviously, this happened to a lot of people in COVID, and a lot worse stuff could have happened. But I was reeling from feeling that feeling again of like making this giant plan and the universe just shitting all over it. And so I felt this like sensation of like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Like, I'm trying to do the best that I can to go and do and move and be. And like, my guide was like, sit the fuck down. Like, sit down. Like, you're doing too much. Like, you don't understand that in your feminine energy, you have a more powerful tool to be able to draw things towards you instead of having to go get everything.
Mm.
So I really made a practice of this like idea of queen. Like, I'm gonna be a queen. And the queen doesn't get up for nothing. Like, the queen asks for something and they bring it to her. So what does that look like for my life? And even just in the last month, month and a half, I called in my soulmate, like this person I've been looking for such a long time because I've been trying to go and do and be and like to go get him. And all I needed to do was sit back and surrender, and then that energy completely shifted and changed everything for me in my whole life. So Brianna Weiss has a quote, and I'm not gonna quote it verbatim because I'll mess it up, but she talks about this concept of what we think will make us happy. And so the idea is that like we run after things that we think will make us happy based on a past experience. So we're only constructing our future from something based on the past. But if there was something that would make us happier, we would have no idea of what that was because we hadn't experienced it and wouldn't be able to conceptualize that. So the universe sometimes is like, nah, bigger. And we're sitting here fighting, being like, I want this little piece of whatever that we think is the ultimate, the coup de grace of like what we have coming to us. When the universe is like, sit down, sit down. We're trying to give you this other thing. So it doesn't mean to go without action because the universe will definitely present things where you need to make action for those things to happen. But I was relying so much on that masculine energy in my own self to go do stuff when I have the power of the universe behind me saying, "Yo, we have muscle here." It's like you're moving into a new house and you're like, "No, no, no, I'll move the couch by myself." And they're like, "We have other people here that can help you. In fact, you can sit on the couch while we move it." You
Yeah.
know?